Hello, I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Health Doctor, and today I want to ask you the question, do you have boundaries? Now, you've probably heard about boundaries and you know you should have some, but do you have some? And did you have some? Because sometimes when you're with a hijackal, those boundaries that you did have got slowly eroded. And if you didn't have strong boundaries, that was one of the reasons that you were so attractive to the hijackal in your life. Hijackals like to look for people who want to please them, people who are easy to manipulate. And I know you don't want to think about that you may have been easy to manipulate, because when I say that, they know that people who are nice, people who are considerate, people who are thoughtful, people who are interested in others, those people are the ones that they look for, because they think, there's somebody that I can get control over. They want to please me. They want to be nice. They're willing to go the extra mile. They'll make excuses for me. They'll justify my behavior. They'll rationalize what I do, and I will be able to quickly become my not so wonderful self, and they may not notice or they may not complain. So don't beat yourself up if you're with a hijackal. They saw you coming. They groomed you. They culled you from the herd. They knew that you were a good, nice person, and I've used those phrases before, but it's so true. If you're a good, nice person who's interested in others, raised well, often, or if you've come from a home that nobody was really quite functional, that will leave you with a pattern of wanting to find somewhere to belong, wanting to have your person, wanting to have a relationship that you can count on, and they look for that too. So boundaries become very, very important. And a boundary is simply a line that you draw in the sand in ink that says, here's what's all right with me, and here's what's not all right with me. And that I want my partner to clearly know where that line is. Now, when you're with a hijackal, the entire modus operandi is to get that line to disappear. So think about it for a minute. Have you found that that's true in your life? Have you found that already, as I just say these few words, you think, I gave up. I quit trying to hold a boundary because it was always a fight. It was always a problem. What I wanted didn't matter. What he or she wants always seems to matter more. And so after a while, I just put down fighting. I did not feel it was worth it. And after you have children in your life, you don't want them to witness the fighting, so you stop. And I don't mean you stop the fighting, I mean you stop standing up for yourself. So I want to invite you to think about the relationship you have with a hijackal. Maybe it's with your mom or your dad. Maybe you're not even living in the same country as them anymore, but there's still that hijackal influence that comes across because you brought it with you from your childhood. And I know my mom was a hijackal, and I still have moments when I can hear her voice criticizing, complaining, putting me down. Not my worst moments, and she creeps. One of those moments is when I'm peeling potatoes, because she would always complain. You're taking off too much skin. It's too much trouble to ask you to do anything. Why do I bother? You're just such a mess in the kitchen. And, on a bad day when I'm feeling a little disempowered, I can hear that voice. I don't peel potatoes very often, so I suppose I don't hear it often. But, maybe you have the influence of hearing your hijackal parent's voice. Or you have a hijackal that you're living with. If you had a hijackal parent, it's probable that you have a hijackal that you're living with, unless you've been very lucky, or you've done your own work and find hijackals very transparent early on and you move away from them quickly. I've had my share of hijackal relationships, and yes, they're terrible. Of course, I married a hijackal. I divorced a hijackal. I co-parented with a hijackal, and I attracted other hijackals into my life. I came by this information that I share with you very honestly and organically. Believe me, I struggled. So I know what it means to have to teach yourself to clarify your boundaries, express your boundaries, and then maintain those boundaries. So in another video, I'm going to tell you how to do that. But right now, I just want to plant that seed in you. Have you given up holding boundaries? Have you given up standing up for what you believe in? Have you given up standing up for yourself in your relationship with a hijackal? And if you have, then one of the things that is really important for you to look at is, how do I clarify, express, and maintain a boundary now? Because you need that for yourself. You need to be assertive for yourself. You need that to be an example for your children. And if it doesn't come from you, it's not going to come from the hijackal. So then it's really worth it. It's worth it to do it for yourself, and it's worth it to do it for your children. So take a few moments and sit quietly and ask yourself, what boundaries do I have? What boundaries do I allow myself to have? What boundaries do I express to my partner, any hijackal in my life, or other people in general? And how comfortable am I with being assertive? We're going to talk about all those things in other videos. So think about that now, and you'll be ready for the other videos. Watch for them. And if I can help, remember, you're always welcome to have a one-time free half-hour consultation. Just go to the website and exercise that right. Talk soon.